what players are inclined to ban. Lots of players taking a quick disliking to Mansion. Something that doesn't please me personally, but I won't hold it against them. Seems like we might be going to Random Workshop. Perhaps both players feeling much more confident on the Random Workshop stages. And it is. The first 4 bans being the only 4 official maps available to ban from the neutral list. We might end up going back to Dragon City from MePBat. He knows he can win there. I wouldn't be surprised if Radha tried to ban Dragon City. Looks like this language that Tripana Zema's been using is catching on, Radha using it the same. Oh no, I might be in for a day of events here. And the final ban comes from Radha. We'll see what he picks. He's got Dragon City or Sure Enough. I'd be surprised if he wants to go back to Dragon City. Although maybe he feels less confident on Sure Enough. Right. The ping difference here you can see clearly 60 or 70 here for Radha, 20 to MePBat. MePBat being a European player while Radha being North American, I believe. And we go back to Dragon City. We'll see if this pick ends up causing Radha some issues. Both players actually going for the more professional strat. And a box there from MePBat, known in ranked for being a bit of a tryhard, but it seems to be paying off for him right now, as he's getting all the practice he can get all the time. But a mistake, maybe the nerves, and a great ball from Radha gives him the first round. Looks like MePBat having to adjust for the ping issues there. We'll see how he fares all the way through. Obviously, this is an online tournament. Part of being proficient in tournament play online is knowing how to account for the ping. And equally, I suppose we'll see with Radha how well he can perform with European ping. Both these players, I imagine, much prefer playing against people who are closer to them. And a tough mistake there from Radha doesn't seem to affect it too much because MePBat was in the back. But as I say that, a great swing by MePBat closes the round out really quickly. The momentum just wasn't there for Radha after the miss. Oh, and a backfire from MePBat. Trying to catch Radha off guard. Radha says no thanks and fires it back in his face. Incredible reaction time from both players. And another rocket from Radha. Great placement, just unfortunate that it didn't quite hit. And Radha takes it, 3-1. Great start from Radha. So we've got 1-0 here. We'll see where MePBat goes as a result. He might be picking Laboratory, trying to catch Radha off guard. We haven't seen that yet today. Although he opts for Plaza instead. Perhaps is similar to Tripana Zema in the way that he prefers maps where you can be more consistent. MePBat known for his consistency. Pretty standard start from both players, although a miss from Radha. Interesting that we picked an official map as well after the banning showed that neither player wanted to play on an official map. And just really clean from MePBat, Radha having trouble to keep up. MePBat just making it difficult for Radha to overtake him. We'll see if this carries through further rounds. MePBat seeming to like to keep the lead. Oh, and a miss from Rather. Just jumped a little bit too late and hit the spikes. Both players spawn in boost. Rather has the advantage with the pulse, but MePBat keeping hold of all of his boosts so he can be sure to dodge it whenever Rather throws it. And just as I say that, MePBat does exactly that. Great dodge of the box from both players. And an even nicer ball. Rather using his rocket, but it doesn't matter. A 3-0 from MePBat puts them back at even. (1-1) MePBat, Rather. So it's now Rather's pick. We'll see where he takes it. Pitfall. Both these players preferring to be more consistent. Rather definitely one of the faster players in the tournament. But MePBat showing in his exhibition match a few weeks ago that he's more than capable on Pitfall against Mindless Rookie, another great player. Seems to be pretty even as far as I can tell so far. MePBat, as we can see, really likes to keep the lead. Front running seems to be something that he's comfortable with. Knows the map inside out, doesn't matter if you can see it or not. Rather maybe just waiting for his chance. MePBat trying to dodge the rocket. Seems to have blown up in his face though, as he's not going to be able to make it through. Waited a little bit too long maybe. Ooh, and a close rocket. Maybe the ping had something to do with that, I'm not sure. Either way, it doesn't hit and Rather stays in the game. Rather with the rocket now. Both players even. We might see some wall climbing antics here on this section. A great place to use a rocket, although players can and have become even more proficient at 1, dodging the rockets, and 2, recovering if they get hit. Oh, and a mistake there by Rather. Going to be really tough now to stay in the game. Although he does do it barely, but not for long. MePBat takes it. So it's 1-1 apiece, and a great hook. Although MePBat tries to return the favour, Rather dodges it. Oh, and an even greater ball there by Rather. Both of these players know exactly where to use items to get the maximum effect out. Oh, and it turns out that there was apparently an invisible item glitch there that means that MePBat maybe didn't know that Rather had a ball, and so didn't try to dodge it. Oh, and a tiny mistake there by Rather. Has to readjust using the grapples, but recovers seemingly pretty well. MePBat predicting that Rather was going to use the item waits there. Goes into second place as a result, but Rather takes a miss there, maybe caused by MePBat's pulse, but MePBat retakes the lead. Could even this up to a last point game. But hits the box. Rather not ready for MePBat to make a mistake and preemptively uses the hook to try and get him away. Although, yeah, another invisible item. That's tough there for MePBat. That was a box that Rather had and didn't show up. We got MePBat with a rocket. Let's see whether he can use it or whether he gets taken off screen too quickly by Rather. Seeming to have no troubles with the blind running right now from Rather. Uses the slower route to try and oh, no way! Both players try to use the ice, but MePBat just gets there barely in the front. It's a tough one. MePBat mentioning again that there are invisible items on this match that could be affecting the player's performance. Oh, and a tough mistake there by MePBat. It could affect him in the game here. Rather does have a rocket. He's going to option select. Clearly pays off for Rather. Keeps the lead. And Rather does take it. That was a great use there by Rather. He had the perfect setup to make sure that MePBat took the slower route, or he'd get rocketed. We'll see now where MePBat takes Rather to. So we're going to factory by the looks of it. Another consistent map we saw with Trip Anozoma. Mentioning trips, Rather just got tripped by MePBat. Gonna have to use all of his boost to recover. Oh, and interesting by Rather uses all of his boost and makes MePBat take the longer route. Oh, we're seeing a mistake again by MePBat. This was MePBat's pick after all, so these mistakes are a little bit uncharacteristic. That was cutting it incredibly fine from MePBat. Clearly knows where the hitbox of his character is, or maybe just got a little bit lucky. Hard to tell. Ooh, MePBat predicts the rocket from Rather and uses the drill to make sure he avoids it. Sometimes that's the only way, especially on official maps. It's not taken into account so much that players will use items like this. Oh, and Rather with a misfire. Perhaps MePBat guiding it a little bit. Either way, MePBat with the first point. After a bit of a struggle actually, considering that it's MePBat's pick. And a mistake there from Rather. I can't tell whether MePBat tripped. Either way, very unfortunate for Rather. You can see every time that MePBat is not grappling, he's sliding, making sure that he's taking every opportunity that he can to mess with Rather. And it's paid off. MePBat takes the win there. It's 2-2. Rather's pick now goes to City Run, staying with the theme of Random Workshop. City Run a pretty polarizing map. I know a lot of players love it, and some players really hate it. The gates at the bottom section can be quite tilting. Let's see whether it affects any of the players here. Interesting interaction. Although the boost here has been changed recently, Rather stays in the game. He would have probably died for that in previous patches. Rather with the top route is slightly faster if you can get the grapples right, and he does. Gives Rather the win with the help of a bomb. Now we're seeing a little bit from both players the win conditions that they're aiming for as players. They might be a little bit the same in this instance. MePBat with a good grapple there. Rather's tending to look for fast maps, clearly wanting to make use of his good grapple mechanics. I think MePBat may be a little bit of more of an all-round player, wants to go for somewhere that's consistent and just waiting for Rather to make a mistake. Clearly call into pressure is MePBat. Oh, and almost a great ice from Rather. Could have messed MePBat up anyway, hits the boxes. A quick win from Rather gives him 2 points. This is game point. Both players with full boost here. Excellent use of the grapple there to cycle through. Rather knew where the next item was and didn't want to have the ice for it. And another great dodge from Rather as well. Unstoppable here. There was a great idea there from MePBat trying to get him with the ball, but just mistimed by a little bit means that Rather lives. And a mistake now from MePBat. And it's even again. We'll see where the bomb comes into play. Never mind, Rather's taking no chances and uses the rocket and explodes them both. Resets the situation entirely. Oh, and a mistake, but great recovery there from Rather. Doesn't matter though, because MePBat uses the bomb, capitalizes on the opportunity. A really close set here, and a great box from MePBat. There was nothing much that Rather could have done there. And MePBat takes the game. Still close though. MePBat's really having to work for this. Yep, rather picks again. Rather picking dancehall. I'm sure we did see Rather in the first day actually, very proficient on dancehall. Both players taking the top route. Oh, and Rather gets hit. That's going to be a round for MePBat. I don't know whether Rather's consistency is going to be matched here by MePBat. Obviously, it wasn't in pools yesterday. Ah, we see MePBat going for the harder route, but messes up on the end. Keeps Rather alive. Could have capitalized and gotten a quick 2 rounds. Oh, and tough. We might see a bomb usage here. Oh, and Rather messing up as well. The nerves might be getting to him a little bit. Rather's not going back for boost. He's forgotten. Remembers just as he's about to lose. That was interesting. I was half expecting both players to go for a reverse grapple there to start off the game really quickly. It doesn't matter though, because Rather makes a mistake and MePBat capitalizes again. Absolutely ruthless. Ruthless. So that's 4-2 MePBat. And Rather goes dash the knight. We'll see if Rather can control his nerves here. You can clearly see that consistency is being affected. MePBat just so consistent under pressure. Maybe gaining a little bit more confidence seeing that Rather's messing up quite a lot. Got an ice here. And it does hit. That was excellent maneuver by Rather. Clearly in complete control of his character. MePBat just caught unaware, tried to dodge it but wasn't fast enough. And Rather with a box, doesn't connect though. And a last second dodge from Rather. Clearly wasn't expecting the ice, but makes up for it by quick reaction time. MePBat probably wants to cycle this hook, and he does. But he doesn't pick up another item. Interesting. Ooh, the cycle doesn't work out for him, he just gets the next item and misses the item that he was trying to pick up earlier. And a ball from Rather. This could be the second round. MePBat knows where the item is though, and made the most of his loss, so he can start off best for the next round. Ooh, tough there. Might have been a tackle. Either way, MePBat gets a quick win. Ooh, Rather trying a risky strat there. Clearly didn't get the boost quite right. Maybe needs some more practice on that. Interesting hook by MePBat. Maybe playing around with Rather a little bit. Feeling a little bit confident. Rather's having none of it though. Takes the lead right back. Much more consistent here. Tiny little inconsistencies in grappling, but that's about it from both players. Rather didn't quite have the reaction times either to realise that he had the rocket and that MePBat was following him. Maybe he could have closed the round out just there and then. Great hook by MePBat. All of these items really high level, hard to dodge. And another hook. Oh, bad timing though. Perfect usage of item there by Rather, making sure that he definitely did secure the win. So that's 4-3 to Rather, to MePBat, sorry. Match point for MePBat, and it's MePBat's pick. We'll see where he goes. Granary has been picked. Interesting map. Surprising, really. This map, all about quite precise tricks on the left-hand side. MePBat wanted to go for the boost. Rather gets an Invincible though, so the boost isn't going to matter. Rather getting a little bit lucky. And MePBat with a mistake there, but seems to capitalise, has enough boost to recover. We've got MePBat with a ball, but there's not many places to use it on this top section. Maybe he'll just cycle through it to try and get another item on the bottom. Doesn't, he sticks with it. We'll see if either player can get... Ooh, and a miss by MePBat, but Rather does hit it. Rather takes the first round. Oh, and tough by MePBat as well. Rather so consistent on that strat. Although it does make a little bit of a mistake there. You know, MePBat has been very good with these hooks. He knows exactly when to cycle them and when to use them. And a box, but it doesn't hit. Rather less proficient by the looks of it. Misses MePBat there. Maybe not the best place to use it. Dodging that rocket that MePBat was going to throw. And he misses again. That's the third round in a row that MePBat hasn't been able to do that strat. Seems like Rather's going to capitalise. Oh, doesn't decide to save the boost. Although he does spawn in it, doesn't make a huge difference. Great ball by MePBat. Can he come back from it, or are we going to see Rather even it up? Maybe MePBat running out of good maps to pick versus Rather. We could see that. Maybe the nerves getting to him a little bit now. Rather's shifted the momentum a little bit into his favour. But a box, that could close it out. And it does. This is match point for MePBat. Ooh, MePBat does get the strat this time, although a slightly slower version. Rather struggling to keep up. Ooh, and tough. A few mistakes there by Rather, and that's going to be the game. MePBat takes it. 5-3. That was an intense match.